navigate.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts initially, just off the top of your head, whenever you think about those and you start relating it to right now?
I mean, essentially what we did was we got pretty aggressive in working our database, going back to the well, going back to first principles, like who do I have in my database? When's the last time they've been touched? What have I told them last? We sent out personal letters to people. So we hand stuffed envelopes. I actually paid my guys a steak dinner at Del Frisco's for anybody who would stuff, like, I think 250 envelopes. And so we personalized 250 letters, and we got sales out of that. And we're talking about enterprise software sales, right?
Yeah.
But we rolled up our stinking sleeves. We created a massive database, and we created a campaign to create some special offers.
Why didn't you stick with that? Why isn't that something you could do long term?
We can.
I mean, just make it a habit. You know, like we were talking about with his name's slipping my mind, but Home Depot's CEO, I think he writes 100 handwritten letters every Sunday. That's
Really?
just part of, so he has his team funnel him, you know, exceptional employees or moments or whatever. Then he spends on Sunday and he knocks out 100 handwritten notes as thank yous to continue that generation. Now, it didn't start with 100. You know, he talks about that in his story, but he's started to make it one of those things. It's a non-negotiable that's what he does every week, you know?
It's good.
So, but I think, and so one of my things that I've been thinking about now in 2008, you know, where I was just getting ready to graduate college. So I was not in the same position that I am now. Now, what I have been thinking about is every time something like this comes along, there is really two options. You can fight and resist whatever's coming, okay, whether it's, you know, personal, whether we're having to adjust what our schedule's like, our hygiene and things like that. I mean, everybody should be washing their hands anyways. But and then at the same time, there's the business aspect of it where you can fight and say, I've always done business this way, or this is what's been working with me. Or you jump on the bandwagon and say, what can I learn from this? How can I innovate? How can I make new best practices and get ahead of what's ever going on? As opposed to putting my foot down and saying, let's see if this, you know, washes out. Let's see if over time, you know, this changes. Maybe in 4 months or something like this will all go away when we go back to work. It's like, well, I got 4 months of work done while you were waiting to see what happened.
Yeah.
You know,
it's good.
But
it's good. So double the hustle.
Well, not really double the hustle. It's just, okay, so instead of trying to fight, like for me, so again, we already talked about it earlier. I work 100% remote. My entire team works 100% remote. So for me, I enjoy going to different places on certain days. That's just my typical routine, and being there. I get creative. I get thought ideas and things like that. But so I tried to do that yesterday and part of today, and it was just so difficult, and it was so much hassle trying to sit outside of Starbucks or find some place that I could be at and be creative without, you know, feeling shunned or asked to leave or whatever. So instead of doing that, then it's just, okay, so I can adjust instead of waiting a couple of days or waiting a week or wait until the end of March to see if the ban's lifted. You know what, just get back to work, adjust things, you know, create new normals and go from there, you know? And so that's what I'm trying to do. But I mean, I know that's super simple in that sense, and that problem isn't that big a deal, but it even goes down to, you know, sales. You know, people want to think that their pocketbooks are shut up. Well, they still have the same needs today that they had last week and 2 months ago. Their needs haven't changed, you know? And so again, we're just going through the same process. We're guiding that person. We're reminding them, hey, you still had this need. The need hasn't changed just because this is going on. So I want to be able to help you fill that need. And quite frankly, if I help you fill that need, I'm going to give you more peace and more freedom to deal with this thing over here that's outside of work that I can't help you with. Well, what I
Yeah.
can help you with is this product, or this service, or this idea. So that's my approach.
It's good.
Address it straight on.
Okay.
Don't dance
Mm-hmm.
around it. I forget who talks about that all the time. I think it's Chris Voss. He was a former FBI hostage negotiator, but he talks about, whenever there's an issue, you don't dance around it. You point it out. That way everybody's comfortable with it. You say, hey, you're dealing with this, so am I. I'm glad we got that out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now let's get back to where we were. We were having this conversation 2 weeks ago, a month ago. Nothing's changed. You still have to fill that need. I'm
Yeah.
here to do it.
Yeah. It's good. That's what we're doing at work. I mean, we're being kind and sensitive, and we're not being pushy about it. And we are, asking people how they're doing, but we're not paralyzed in our reaching out.
Yeah. No, not at all.
I mean, I have 11 projects going on right now, and I'm just supposed to be too afraid to call people. I mean, I think I should always be too afraid to be pushy, but as far as reaching out to follow up at the predetermined time that we said we would follow up,
yeah,
seems like the way to keep the whole economy going.
Yeah. I mean, and again, those 11 projects that you have, they're not going to stop just because of the virus that's going around.
Mm-hmm.
You still have deadlines. And so again, it's taking this, now we have common ground. Maybe we didn't have common ground before. Now we do.
Yeah.
Are you working from home? I'm working from home. Man, there's
Right.
a lot of
That's
troubles that go with that. Tell me about yours. Okay. Now we're getting commitment back and forth. We're deepening our conversation. Okay. 5 minutes has gone by. Okay. Now we're going to circle back, and I just want to gently nudge this. I want to be sensitive to it, but I know that you still have the need. I'm pointing it out.
Yeah.
If I'm aggressive anywhere, I'm pointing out that need. That need's still there. You still have that wound, and you know that I'm here to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fix the coronavirus. I wish I could. I'm happy to pray with you and listen and learn, about what's going on in your life. But what I can do is that solution that you need for work, I got an answer for that.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
take
good.
something off your plate, and I'll be direct with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we help kind of refocus them.
Yeah, that's what. 100%.
I mean, the salesperson can really help them come to a point of, is this need enough to solve or not? And if the need is enough to solve, and I'm pointing it out to you, then I'm doing you a service by keeping you focused instead of, you don't know what to do. You're fishing around, you're swimming around because of this virus, when in fact you have business that you need to conduct, and you're trying to improve your business. And so you can tell me, because of family issues, you want to wait a week or something, cool. But it's my job to get the word out and be that evangelist and that voice, kind of like be the voice for their own need.
Yeah, and depending upon who you're talking to, again, it's different per phone call, per industry, but depending upon who you're talking to, you may have to remind them, hey, your industry is not stopping either.
Yeah.
I know that your work is being sensitive, and that's awesome. I'm glad that your work understands what's going on. I'm glad my work is too, but at the end of the day, we both have work to get done.
Like in the marathon industry, of course, we want to be careful to, give social distance, but also getting outdoors is more important than ever. My girls and my wife have gone walking 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
Today was like 40 minutes. And
That's
it
awesome.
was a very mood lifting thing for them. And now my oldest daughter, who insisted on going out just now to Walmart or to go to Sonic or something, is going crazy. So we need those social connection times. We need those nature connection times. So even in the 5K industry or in the marathon industry, of course we want to do it with prudence, but getting outdoors is a really big deal. Or buying software that tells you, diagnoses where your problems are. You don't want to have problems with your staff and problems with kids being at your house while you're trying to work, and different problems, and have your systems go down. So we do have to have a certain amount of, the salesperson can really, and I saw someone on LinkedIn say this today too, it's essential that we do our jobs.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I wouldn't be a good, colleague or peer if I just let it go. If I just said,
Yeah.
hey, fine, I'll just move all my appointments back a month and see what happens. Number one, I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be a very good employee of whatever brand I'm for. But then at the same point, I wouldn't be doing them a favor at all,
Yeah.
because they're going to need that void filled. And if I'm not the one doing it, somebody else will.
Yeah. It's good.
I mean, that's just at the end of the day, that's bare minimum. If I'm not doing it, somebody will,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you can do it with empathy, like you've been talking about. There's an empathetic way to do it.